Going to talk about is YubiKey's offering, the YubiKey as a service. YubiKey as a service is our digital identity platform. Essentially, it covers a number of elements. Today, I'm going to be talking about enrollment and delivery. Just know that this is not the limitations of the YubiKey as a service offering, and I encourage everyone to keep abreast as YubiKey does expand this particular offering. But for now, let's focus on the solution as delivered. So YubiKey as a service essentially allows you to do a number of things. First, faster deployment. Get YubiKeys in the hands of end users without having to go through logistical challenges of an organization handling shipping themselves. You can have lower cost of entry. As a subscription service, YubiKey as a service allows you to spread the cost of your YubiKey stock for your entire organization over a number of years. This allows you to build budgeting into the standard licensing agreement that most software services offer and allows you to align costs and predict them responsibly and accurately over a number of years rather than having to deal with on-demand or ad hoc purchases. This allows you to have flexibility, allowing you to shift your inventory from what you initially thought to what your actual demands are, rather than being limited by what hardware you have on hand and shipping what you literally have in your stock rooms. Instead, allows you to have flexibility there to shift your stock to what is actually needed. And finally, it allows you to achieve compliance easier. Nothing is perfect. Understand and acknowledge that there will always be attacks that were not anticipated. And Yubico, of course, is committed to patching or fixing or otherwise addressing any vulnerabilities as quickly as possible. With the YubiKey as a service, you're able to roll out new stock and new firmware with a touch of a button, and your existing stock will always be the latest and most compliant version. So you do not have to worry about throwing out devices because they are no longer compliant or otherwise replacing them. But let's talk about the faster deployment. This is the key part of the YubiKey as a service offering with this joint solution. We'll talk about enrollment real quick. With YubiKey as a service enrollment, pre-enrollment, we are able to take a passkey for a specific service, in this case Entra, and load it on the device before it ever leaves the Yubico factory. The interaction occurs without requiring a user's touch, but is never actually activated until it goes through a service such as Versasec CMS to authorize that this credential is valid. With this, Yubico handles all the configuration of the device, enrolling the credential on the YubiKey, setting a randomized PIN, and doing everything in our secure programming facility, the same place where we load critical data for other customers. This is again an air-gapped, highly secured, and highly audited environment, so you have high assurance that the credential that resides on your device remains only on that device. This is, of course, much, much faster than trying to manually do it, thanks to economies of scale and the fact that this process is highly automated. And the best part is your user does not need to be involved in this process. Your administrators don't need to be involved in this process. By automating it, the challenges of having to manage credentials is taken off your organization's shoulders and handled by Yubico. Following that, we have to talk about how the YubiKey gets from the Yubico production facility to your users. Yubico allows you to, Yubico will ship these pre-registered YubiKeys globally to over 217 or more countries directly to home addresses. This allows you to track the actual shipments. The information is then is of course provided back. Allows you to have assurance that you don't need to do a two-stop shipping effort, shipping the keys directly to your organization and then shipping it to the user. Instead, it's handled directly from the Yubico production facilities to the user. And there's no logistics, other steps that have to be managed that aren't already built into the solution itself. This, of course, covers completely the logistical efforts. You don't need to worry about tracking inventory. You don't need to worry about tracking shipments. Your organization offloads all of that to Yubico, and it's all automated and easy to manage. Finally, let's talk about the built-in compliance. We can ship everything from, as mentioned, from standard YubiKeys to ones with the latest certifications, such as FIPS validated YubiKeys or other certifications that the YubiKeys has occurred or achieved. Um, this allows you to replace your entire fleet once a subscription period. So if in the event that a key no longer is valid because of a security vulnerability or other issue that's been uncovered, you're able to replace your entire stock at the no additional cost to your licensing fees. On top of this, of course, every organization is eligible for 25% additional key replacement. This is to handle day-to-day operations, employee churn, lost or replacement keys, or other things that you need to do to achieve compliance. For example, if a group in your organization needs to fall under additional rules and you need to purchase, say, FIPS compliant keys for them, you can do so at no additional charge. This allows you to take your initial investment into the YubiKey and essentially uh, s- cover the risks that a normal day-to-day operation would not. And finally, of course, since the credential is on the YubiKey, and we can handle credentials on every one of the devices shipped through YubiKey as a service, your users don't need to worry about having to juggle their credentials. Everything is automated, everything is managed, everything is secure. To summarize, solving the logistical challenges with YubiKey as a service, there's no YubiKey as a service handles your logistical responsibilities for your organizations. Take them off your administrator's shoulders. They handle your inventory tracking through our automated API, taking that off your organization's shoulders and allowing you to easily track and replenish YubiKeys as needed. It changes ad hoc demand to predictable costs, locked in and fits your organization's budget framework. And of course, we're not going to be so arrogant to say this solves all of your challenges, but in conjunction with our partner, Versasec CMS, we can offer jointly a complete solution. And with that, I'd like to hand over to my colleague Anders.